Alright, so today we're going to be doing something a little bit different in Star Citizen. I'm going to do a video on prospector mining as a new player, as best as I understand it so far. This isn't going to be like the most efficient way possible, certainly not the most lucrative, but it should give you an idea regarding this particular game loop, at least from a new player perspective. Like several of my other videos, I'm going to keep the gameplay in its entirety to capture the time that's involved. So nothing is going to be edited out. I've previously gone ahead and rented the Mist Prospector, which was only about 30,000 credits, which you can certainly make up in a day. We're going to be starting from Crew L1. This is currently where my station is set at. Let's go ahead and select the miscellaneous prospector here in the ASOP. And looks like we're going to pad number 04. Looks like the elevator was already here at the lobby. That is actually quite convenient. Going ahead and selecting pad 4. Now we just gotta wait a minute so we get down to our pad. It would be kind of funny if there was like actual elevator music. So there's certainly more than a few seconds here in the elevator. And there we go. So this is the miscellaneous prospector vessel we're going to be using to mine asteroid rocks. The containers that hold the ore are on the side of the ship. I'm told they will be detachable, something to do with the upcoming mobile refinery ship. Let's go ahead and climb into our cockpit here. You have to make sure to get it at the right angle. We go ahead and press R to turn on our vessel. Let's go ahead and lift off just a little bit and turn our ship here to the left a little bit. We're going to press F2 to open up our Mobiglass Galaxy map. We're going to set our destination to Arc L3. We're actually just going toward Arc L3, and then we're going to be stopping short of 11 million kilometers. You can mine the rocks that are around the station, but some people have told me that it's actually better to go a little farther out into the belts. Quantum drive is active, and we are on our way. You can actually see me piloting the front of the ship there. Star Citizen is a very beautiful game. It is very CPU intensive, however. I'm actually playing this on my Acer Nitro laptop, which has 9th generation Intel. Which my desktop only has a 7th generation Intel, and it seems that CPU is much more important than graphic card. So what I've done is taken the HDMI out of my laptop and plugged it into my desktop's AverMedia capture card. It's the same capture card I used for the Xbox One my brother gave me, and also if I ever play the Nintendo Wii. I'm sure you've noticed by now there's a bit of travel time involved, and it does vary by ship. While you can't upgrade rented ships, the quantum drive of a purchased prospector can be upgraded for faster travel. Just a few more million kilometers to go. We are going to what's called the Aeron Halo. It's a dense asteroid belt within the system. It has no jump point for quantum traveling. In order to reach this asteroid belt, you have to disengage your quantum drive between 2 points. And we're going to go ahead and just disengage quantum travel here. As you can see, the way to tell if you're in the right place is you can actually see the asteroids around you. What we want to do is press the tab key and send out a ping. When a mineable asteroid has been located, it will show up as a package icon. Once we found a package icon, we just rotate our ship and fly toward it. Normally I press C to cruise toward it, and then turn off cruise control about 1,000 meters away just to make sure that I don't run into the asteroid, which has happened quite, at least in the beginning. We're about 5,000 meters from the asteroid that we're going to target. Now, you can hear that weird audio noise. I don't know what that is, but I just kind of tried to tune it out. I think this asteroid may actually be bugged or what is known as a ghost asteroid, which hasn't rendered in or something, I'm not sure. But normally when you find an asteroid, it's supposed to have like a yellow highlighter around it. And it's supposed to tell you the composition. And this doesn't appear to be telling me anything. We're going to go ahead and just send out another ping here and then move around and look for another asteroid. Hopefully that will work. We found another one here at about another 5,000 meters. Let's go ahead and go towards that and see if that one works correctly. There we go. As you can see on the left now, it says we're within optimal range. There is the yellow highlighter of the asteroid. And we're just inching a little bit closer to get the composition, which is shown on the right. And it has a lot of inert materials, so basically it's a trash asteroid. So you want to find asteroids that do not have a lot of inert materials in them, because that's useless. That just will just take up space in your cargo container. Because you can't do anything with inert materials. You just can't sell them. So you want to try to avoid rocks with large amounts of inert materials. Right now, basically my strategy is to have asteroids with less than 50% inert materials in it before I start cracking it open. Now, on a purchase prospector, you can buy what is called a Fltr module, or as I just call Fltr. And this slows down your extraction rate by 50%, but then you collect 10% less inert materials. Looks like we're coming in just a little too fast. I'm gonna go ahead and press spacebar and get up and over the rock, just so we don't smash right into it. Again, it doesn't seem to be worth mining. It can actually take a little bit of time in order to find an asteroid that is actually worthy of being cracked open. In fact, in my rather limited experience, most of the time will actually be in searching for an asteroid. Looks like we finally may have found an asteroid that we can break apart. Pretty much, we just want to activate the laser, turn up the power, and it looks like we probably should move a little bit closer, which will also increase the charge level. Now, we want to keep the charge level in the green. Below the green, it won't do anything. Above the green, into the red, you risk exploding the asteroid and damaging your ship. If the charge levels enters the red, I recommend turning the laser off for it to cool down. So the laser appears to be stable enough so we can get an exterior view of our ship mining this asteroid, which is very beautiful. We have cracked the asteroid into several large pieces, which we will then have to crack once more into even smaller pieces. We are looking for a composition with little inert materials as possible. Yeah, that's probably not ideal. Let's check this asteroid out. I have to move a little bit closer to activate the scanning. Again, still too much inert materials. I think we're just going to pass on that one. This asteroid has no inert materials, so I'm going to go ahead and just crack this open once more to collect the delicious ore that's inside. Now the charge level will increase faster than before because the asteroid is now smaller, so you have to be careful. The first time I went asteroid mining, I set the laser on the second chunk and was distracted by reading something else on another screen. I ended up exploding the asteroid and damaging the entire front end of my ship. Needless to say, I had to actually self-destruct because I could no longer move and lost the materials that I had gathered in the process and start over. Once the asteroid is highlighted purple, this means you can switch to extraction mode by using the right mouse button and vacuum the ore into your cargo container. On the right, under the cargo heading, you can see what ore materials is being placed into your ship. The ship can only hold 32 cargo units, which is why it's important to collect as little inert material as possible. And here's another rock we can go ahead and collect, again with no inert materials. I don't think these ores really have a lot of value, but this is mainly for demo purposes. Looks like we found another candidate that we can go ahead and crack open. Yeah, I turned off the laser there just to prevent going into the red. It won't explode immediately when you go into the red, but this does show you that by turning off the laser, it gives it a little bit of time for the asteroid to actually cool down. Looks like we found ourselves another candidate for extraction here. Diamond is so far the most profitable ore that we have come across. I believe Bexelite is the second highest value ore that you can actually sell. Quantarium has the highest value, but it is extremely volatile, which if it degrades, it will actually explode. Looks like we've filled up our cargo a little bit more than halfway. We've been able to collect a fair amount of diamond relative to everything else, and we still kept our inert materials pretty much to zero. We need to find one more rock just so we can fill up our cargo container completely. This one does appear to have that quantanium in it, but it's such a low yield, it's not even worth messing with. Let's see if this one has a decent composition. It appears that it did not. This one doesn't appear very valuable at all either. Whoops, I accidentally hit the wrong buttons. Let's go ahead and check out the one at 6,000 meters. Looks like we found ourselves another potential candidate. Let's go ahead and crack this baby open like an egg. Oh, not the extraction. We want mining. Drill, baby, drill. I really like these exterior shots. And we are in the green. Sometimes you have to kind of inch a little forward just to give it that extra push. Of course, if you have trouble stabilizing it, you can also back off a little bit. We've broken apart the asteroid, and now we just need to find another suitable candidate. Remember, every asteroid has to be broken twice, and to keep track of it, it will be an orange highlight. It's purple if it can be extracted. Let's see if we can get lucky and break the inert out of this. Yeah, see, that's kind of dangerous, so you want to turn off the laser immediately. Once it's sufficiently cooled down, you can go ahead and turn on the laser again, but you will have to raise the intensity slowly. Now we just have to go ahead and check to see if any of these compositions are worth it. We're going to go ahead and just gather this one here till we fill up our cargo. That was actually pretty close. Let's just go ahead and break apart this one and see if we can't gather anything delicious. And we have successfully split the asteroid. Do you see that? 100% inert materials. That one is bad. Let's go ahead and crack this one open. As you can see, this is actually a pretty good candidate, so we're just going to go ahead and collect what we can, and now as you can see it says cargo full in red. We're going to go ahead and back up here and then set the waypoint to Crew L1, which is where I set my station spawn. Also, there is a refinery bonus there that we can take advantage of. Alright, we're pretty close now. I don't know why it actually drops us out a little bit before the station. If we wait for the cooldown, we can actually jump a little bit more forward, about 20 kilometers off the station. And there we go, and then we're just going to go ahead and make our way to the station. We don't want to go too fast. In the very beginning, I was notorious for turning on cruise control and going full speed, and then it's like when I want to make a stop, it was actually way too late, and I would crash into the station and explode horribly. So we just have to get within range. I have a hotkey set up to contact for docking right there. And then we just have to make our way down to the landing bay. Just inching our way toward the pad. Don't want to come in too fast. Don't want to use cruise control. So even though it is the 30th century, it appears that they don't want to have any form of auto dock or autopilot. Alright, we're pretty close to lining up here. Just a little bit farther. So what I like to do is get it just close enough to where the auto land will actually kick in. You just have to hold down the N key. If you tap it, it will actually do the landing gear, but if you hold it when you're close to landing on the pad, it should take over and land the vehicle. Just like this, actually. I'm a bit nervous because a couple times I've landed too hard and my ship has exploded. That's funny. I'm not sure why the second door has opened, but the door that I want to get out of hasn't opened yet. We're just making our way inside to the elevators so we can go back to the lobby. And we have been able to make it into the elevator successfully. There has been a bug I've experienced in the past couple days I'm not sure if it's due to a desync or what, but you get pulled into the elevator, and then you actually see the whole world like behind it and everything, and you can't get out. You're trapped by invisible walls, and the only way to correct it is actually to log out. Now, I will personally store the vessel to prevent it from being impounded and having to pay extra fees or waiting extra time. Storing the vessel is just fine, and it does not affect the cargo in the vessel at all. We are currently making our way to the refinery where we can actually refine and sell the ore. So it will be a different elevator from the hangar bay. We just have to make our way across toward the refinery. Here it will show you the cost of the raw materials itself. As you can see, diamond is the best we've got at the moment. And over here is actually the refinery. Now you can double your credits by actually having it refined. There are several options in the refinery depending on your goal. You can refine quickly with the most quantity, pay the highest credits, refine the slowest but most quantity and take the longest to refine, or some variation thereof. I usually pick the one that takes the longest time, the lowest price, and gives me the highest quantity in return. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I do plan on making a couple more. Fly safe.